We knew that Donald Trump was going to put the worst of the worst characters around him relative to positions of power within his administration during this second term, this Trump 2.0 nightmare. We knew it. I'll admit, I didn't even think, and maybe it's because I'm an optimist, but I didn't think it would be as bad. I think the moment, I've talked about this publicly, the moment that I really realized it was going to be a real shit show was when he named Matt Gaetz to be Attorney General. Thankfully, that fell apart. But there are still characters out there who are dangerous, who are racist, white supremacist, just pumpkin-headed freaks, like Sebastian Gorka, a guy who likes to throw the weight of his giant moon-sized melon around and make threats against people at conferences, getting right up in their grill. He's a maniac, and he has now been imbued with power from Donald Trump and the administration under the executive as the Counterterrorism Czar. I think he got like a doctorate from some correspondence course, college course, one of those diploma mill type of things. I think that's what it was. So he has a doctorate in whatever, and he speaks with this British accent, but everything he says is fascism. He's a liar, he's a conspiracy theorist, and he's trying to make people afraid of dissent. This is chilling free speech. This is squelching free speech, the thing that they all claim to be absolutists about. And in this clip on Newsmax that I'm getting ready to play for you, he is saying that if you criticize ICE, if you advocate for due process for Abrego Garcia, the man illegally removed, now in defiance of a Supreme Court order, soon to be another defiance of a federal appeals court, that if you advocate for due process and constitutional rights for this individual, you are helping terrorism. You are aiding and abetting a terrorist, which is a crime. Again, chilling free speech. Watch this. Again, try not to get distracted by the size of his, and maybe it doesn't come across. And look, this is coming from somebody with a pretty substantial pumpkin head. I don't know how the power of the neck muscles even keep that thing aloft. Watch Sebastian Gorka.
And they're trying to find any problem they can that they can jump on, to vilify the White House as they try to do the almost impossible mandate that was given to them by the American people of how do you figure out how to deport 15 million people that were invited in by the last president?
I came up with this over a year ago when I had my show on Newsmax, Rob, and I realized that the taxonomy of politics in America is dead. It's not left and right. It's not even Republican or Democrat. There's one line that divides us. Do you love America or do you hate America? It's really quite that simple. And we have people who love America, like the president, like his cabinet, like the directors of his agencies, who want to protect Americans. And then there is the other side that is on the side of the cartel members, on the side of the illegal aliens, on the side of the terrorists. And you have to ask yourself, are they technically aiding and abetting them? Because aiding and abetting criminals and terrorists is a crime in federal statute, Rob.
Yeah.
He's bringing up the statute for a reason. He wants to threaten criminal prosecution for advocating for the Constitution, advocating for due process promised under the 14th and the 6th Amendment of the Constitution. 5th Amendment, too, because it deals with how you deal with when you've been charged. This is what he's doing. This is trying to stifle people's free speech. The taxonomy of American politics, Rob. Ugh, just gross. That you either love America or you hate America. Donald Trump loves America. And people who don't like Donald Trump, they hate America. You're either on the side of America or you're on the side of illegal immigrants and terrorists, he says. Being for due process isn't being on the side of a terrorist. It's being on the side of the Constitution of the United States of America. Again, something I take to heart because I swore an oath to this document when I served in the United States Marine Corps, a branch of service in the United States military that Seb Gorka did not serve in. Never served in the United States military. Some foreign fascist outfit, if I'm not mistaken. It's not just him. It's elected leaders too. This is Diana Harshbarger, Republican from Tennessee, saying that she thinks, let me get it right, that people who are concerned about Kilmar Abrego Garcia are nuts, and that common sense should rule the day, and we're trying to bring common sense back and make it sexy again. Herpader, she says, while vilifying people who are standing up for the Constitution and for due process, for the rule of law. These Republicans are beyond parody at this point as they wave around their prop constitutions. Watch Diana Harshbarger.
These people, to me, they're nuts. I can't imagine why, in God's name, you're just like the illegal they're wanting to bring back, the gentleman from Maryland that's in the prison. I'm like, dear God, the man, first of all, he was here illegally, and then he committed a crime, and now you want us to re-import him on the taxpayer's dollar, then give him due process, and then ship him back. I said, it's stupid. And El Salvadorian president said, I'm not letting him out. I'm like, good for you, buddy. Good for you. We need to send a lot more over there. And it do us well here to even, and the president's even talked about it, send some of these, American citizens over to that prison that are lifetime or what have you. I mean, it's just, look, common sense should rule the day, and we're trying to bring common sense back and make it sexy again. That's all I can say.
Cool with sending Americans to prison in a foreign gulag. Very cool with it. Lied about Abrego Garcia, here illegally, not here illegally, and then he committed a crime. No, he didn't. These are tenuous. Listen, when Donald Trump said, I'm going to be a dictator on day one, he wasn't fucking joking. And now, these fascist enablers, these fascists themselves, these people who get just a little whiff of power, and they lose their fucking minds. Diana Harshbarger. Seb Gorka, who's been a fascist from way back with his neo-Nazi medals and bullshit that he wears. These people want to fundamentally, structurally change our culture, our society, our country, our government. And because, eggs were expensive, they're getting their best crack at it. Because the American voters were too stupid or distracted to see what was afoot. Because the things that are happening now are the things that many of us predicted, many of us said are going to come to pass. And here we are. Unfortunately for many of us, it's too important to take a victory lap and toot our own horn about it. Because real lives are being destroyed. Real lives will be destroyed. Americans themselves are under threat. Under attack because they disagree with the dear leader, with the cult leader. What do you think? I would appreciate your feedback in this conversation. You can comment below. That'll help the algorithm to share this content. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.